Okay, we are recording. I just wanted to go over a couple things. The voice in your head, everybody's got it. That's not the issue here. Alien. Magic is their tech. Miracles, not to take away from God. God is real. Watch my other videos. I can show you how that is true. Hell is a Santa's naughty list. Again, not the video here. This video is about the econ on me and you. You never own a house. Let's start there. Even when you own the deed, there is property tax. The econ on me and you. The system that exists, that we live in, is a cult. We all cheer for it every day by not making it more loving, and it's why it's called cult cheer. The cult cheer we live in. Many levels above the little aliens trying to run your life. There are levels above, many, many levels above, in the physical and also in spiritual. Watching over you. There's a 4-pack in your life. Watch my video on the 4-pack in your life. When you're in tune with them, they call it fortune, but it's your chin that moves when you say what they want, fortune. They can help you forgive. They can keep things from you, forget. Of the 4 who mesmerize and hypnotize, performer. Those are the physical levels above. There's also the gentle influencers, the spiritual. At a minimum, you have 2 in, well, the 4 have 1 in each of their lives, and they're also looking out for you. And then in another area I call the cosmic stream of knowledge, just to put names to the areas. Already been through the pyramid of flesh, bone, and school of spirituality. What's this guy talking about? I'm giving you the real deal, that the voice in your head is alien, and everybody's got a voice in their head. Okay. The econ on me and you, the culture that we live in. We live in the morgue. We're not living life, we're dead towards each other. This culture we live in is called capitalism. Okay? What we're going to do is keep getting over on each other with capitalism. You buy it for $1, you sell it for as much as you can. Let's look at the houses. Again, you live in the morgue age. We're dead towards each other. We're supposed to keep it simple. The voice in your head will tell you, keep it simple. Beautiful, loving angel shoulder side. They're known as the angel and the devil on the shoulder. Part of the econ on me and you is, in this day and age, is it keeps roofs over the head and bellies fed. The biggest tax contributor, ExxonMobil. We can do things differently where gas is not required, where it's no longer a trick for the electric. But it's transition. Tech is so very important to how the government views the people. It's more important than the people nowadays because they perceive that tech can be used against the people. So they value that. They spend a lot of money to keep it secret instead of learning to get along with each other. But for true pro-tech shun, in the physical, professional tech shun, not the laptops, not the smartphones, these are toys and tools. Stuff I'm not going to go into right now, not the video. I'm talking about the mortgage and the econ on me and you, and how we transition out of it. There's a package 5. You do it through democracy. Remember this word, democracy. Deodorize, decommission, to remove the odor, to remove from commission. Remove. Mock. I think people understand that word, but it means to make fun of. Raw. It means God, and it means those who are worshipped as gods. It's a dual-purpose word. This is those who are worshipped as gods because of their abilities. The aliens with their tech. It's sort of magic. It's tech. To see something, understanding, vision. Now let's go over the word. Democracy. Remove mocking God's vision for us. Okay? What does that mean? Simply put, make loving decisions with your vote. Don't mock God with your vote. Make loving decisions. We're not doing that. We're spending our money on black projects which we don't even know about, which in theory they have a right to keep it secret because it's the tech, and they fear that the tech, I don't like to use that word, their concern is that the tech, if they don't research it, others will, Just like the aliens can, in the physical, these aliens can put thought in your head, emotion, all the five senses. They can make it feel like something's crawling on your arm. They could put a smell in your nose. They could put a white or a black or a red dot in your eye if you've ever had that. That's a pixelation hallucination. When people, governments don't like when their people to understand that they can be affected and the government can't protect them. But if it was the job of the aliens to overthrow this planet, look, we were created from their peach tree dish. I call it peach tree because you don't see peach trees out in the wild, right? A care root. Somebody cares enough that they developed a root. They cared for us and they gave us a care root. You don't see peaches or apples out in the forest. Out in the wilds, you might see a thornberry bush or a crab apple. Just like us, we were developed in a petri dish. Governments don't like when the aliens are perceived as being able to affect you and they can't protect you. That's their fear. It's starting to come out that alien craft are real. But what isn't talked about yet is that they can affect your thoughts, emotions, desires, impulses, and cravings. Their job is not to, the aliens, if they were going to throw you over, they can do it in a heartbeat. That didn't snap. They could do it in a heartbeat. Their job is to raise you like a child. They take advantage of us at times, children being taken advantage, don't get me wrong. But they also, the voice in your head has a voice in their head, and it goes up and up and up. It's not just us, them, and then God. You'll understand that by the things they ask you to do at times. Okay, they're not the in between. The only thing in between us and God. There are many levels above. Just you will understand that if you have the voices already, which you usually have your midlife crisis, your awakening by about 30. Truth is stranger than fiction. Remember the movie Stranger Than Fiction? Well, the truth is stranger because everybody's got the voice. Will Ferrell movie. He's got some good ones that teach. The econ on me and you. They don't like that you... the alien's job is not to conquer this planet. They can do it in a hot second. They can put pain in you and bring you to your knees in pain. Just black you out, fade you right to the ground. Pass out. Boom. They can do that kind of thing. Their job is to raise this planet like a child. There is a word called ob. Next word, there are laws that gate them towards taking care of us. Ob-law-gated, similar to child protection services. You can see things and you're pulling in information. When they're behind your eyes, they can also see the information that you're pulling in. It's called serving them and you're ob-serving, just to help you understand. Ob-law-gated. They can take a stick to those that are ill. Stick ills. They can put these in your way. Sometimes pronounced ab. They gave us math. Abacus. They're known to use you, the angel solar side, and they're known to use you. To tempt and test is their job. Are we going to continue to keep their secret when they're telling us not to? Milgram experiment. Look up the Milgram experiment. Learning to tell an authority figure no when you're told to do something that you know is wrong. Keeping their secret is old school. It's what we're to grow up and not do anymore. And we're going to take slaps for it. That's part of it. They always come rubbing up again, but don't be afraid to do the loving thing for the kids. Some people say they love their kids so much they would die for them. How about living for them, I like to say. Take the slap. They're going to pull you back into the fold. It's just what it is. Okay, now, with that said, the econ on me and you. Capitalism. It's not community. I'm so sorry. It's not communism. It's not capitalism. It's community and democracy, making loving decisions with our vote. If you want calm and unity around you, you want to have a calm unity, a community. You want to communicate. We're not communicating a truth that the voices are real. And to bore, like Elon Musk has a tunnel boring company where it bores through the earth. Caterpillar bores through a leaf. We're going to bore through the doors that separate us as a planet called bore doors. We're going to actually become a planet, but we have to communicate truth and we have to step up and stop doing for the voices when they ask us to break the golden rule. We have to grow up. We're known as trolls at our level, because many levels above see us as still willing to do wrong, break the golden rule against each other because the voices tell us to. And that's why we're considered trolls, and we're allowed to be conned, and that's why it's called control. We're still a young planet. I call the human children that are being taken advantage of. They don't know yet, but we aren't communicating as a people to the young kids, to each other, what's going on. And if we don't, you as an individual may have learned 1 + 1 = 2 on how to deal with the voices. The kids are having to reinvent the wheel of math all by themselves every time. They're never going to get to a level of multiplication, division, right? Trigonometry. If they keep having to reinvent the wheel, most scientists and those in higher learning pursuits say they stand on the shoulders of those who came before them. It's just what they do. You build upon the last guy's revelations and understandings. You're taught these things, and then you grow from that. You can now look at things differently and move forward, making your own revelations and understandings, and then help the next generation. We have to communicate. Again, some people say they love their kids so much they would die for them. How about living for your kids? Now, how we transition out of the econ on me and you, it's through democracy. It's through voting. I do want to say this. Three things that have to change that you cannot legislate. Talking about the voices. An honest communication that the voices are real. They're known as the angel and the devil on the shoulder. Little Donald in Disney's been doing it for how many years? He's got the little angel and the devil. The Muppet song, have you been half asleep? Have you heard the voices, right? He's heard them calling his name. Old Kermit there. Been teaching the kids for years, if you're listening. So we can talk about it. Take your slap as you do. But we have to talk about it. The voices are real. We have to exercise love in our decision making rather than being little trolls that are allowed to be conned, right? Making loving decisions and working for what we want rather than doing for the voices to get what we want. Those three things cannot be legislated. People are going to do it. As they do it, we have to educate the kids not to do this. And as ourselves, so again, stand up and do the right thing. It's a challenge. It's like exercise. It hurts in the beginning, and then you sort of start to like the pain a bit. It's like it feels all right. We're going to make it. First you were breathing real heavy, and now you're like, we're going to do it. We just have to step up and take that first slap and talk about it. Say it out loud in a mall or walking down the street. Just because you're the voice in our head does not mean we're your slaves. And just keep on going. Wear sunglasses if you want. And just be like, oh yeah, I said it. Because you did. And that's the good stuff. We got to start somewhere. And if it's just a little thing like that, let people think you're crazy. But a lot of people will be like, man, that guy's talking about it. Okay, we're talking about the econ on me and you. We have to... See, the thing is, nothing on this planet costs a dime but your time. And we pull together as people. We vote in. We the people make change. We got to make our vote count. Since Trump was elected and now as he's getting transitioned out, we can see how much our votes really don't count. They're saying Congress can overthrow, and they can. We have to make sure that our votes count. So, one, we have to change something that the American people actually become a democracy instead of 500 and some, the Senate and the House, actually make our decisions for us towards the president. That's not right. We got to make our vote count. That's number one. But we have to vote in. Again, we the people make change. We have to vote in 5 things. I call it the package 5. A 50 to 75% reduction in the mortgage. Who's going to lose? The banks, the mortgage companies? I'm okay with that. How about you? Okay? They can still have the small business loans and such like that. If you're looking to get over on people with real estate and so people can have the basic God-given fundamental place to have a home, their God-given right to exist on this earth and have a home. If you're going to try to make money on that, that's old school. Real estate is huge moneymaker. We are absolutely, it's horrible. It's horrible. That has to change. That cannot be the way you make your money. we have to reduce the mortgage. 2, we put in by 75%. Then we vote in 25% of what your mortgage used to be. So if it was, say it was $100, it's now 25. And the rent too. Landlords, it's, you're no longer going to lord over the people and own that land. We got to make sure that they have ability for a quality of life, and that they have ability to repair the buildings. I'm not going to go into all the specific details, but I'm going to touch on the best I can so you get the idea. We vote in the reduction in mortgage and the rent, then by 75%. Then we take care of the elderly that are retiring and relying on their mortgage, and we put 25% of what the mortgage used to be towards Social Security infrastructure tax. So we make sure that they have a quality of life, that they can retire and still have money coming in. Same with the landlords, that they get a quality of life and be able to repair the buildings. So we vote that in. So then it comes up to about 50% of what your mortgage or rent is now. Okay, so that's the first thing. And the second thing, 75% reduction in the mortgage, 25% infrastructure, Social Security tax, anything left over from that Social Security, making sure people have enough, the roads, the bridges, the pipes, infrastructure. Okay. 3, a balance in the work week, 3.5 on, 3.5 off. You can stay working at 5 if you want, but that'll open the doors a little bit, because we're going to have to bore through the doors of bore doors and open the borders a little bit, and start making this planet more open and more ambassadorship. Yeah, they tried to stop my tongue. More ambassadorship. And 50% of our defense budget we should be spending on making friends with each other and sharing, rather than hiding the tech and trying to develop that. But we the people make these changes. So next is what I call the golden rule into the school systems. Do you want your children to be loving beings? They have the educations to make the stickiest Stuxnet software out there. They have the education to make the biggest ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. I had to fight for every word there. But do they have a moral foundation on whether to say no? See, people loot their soul and soul loot and say, yes, I can, sir. Biggest disease on the planet is, yes, I can, sir. Not a coincidence. Do they have a moral foundation to say, no, that's not right to do. I won't do it. Again, the Milgram experiment, when somebody's telling you to, an authority figure, that you can stand up and say no. So, the golden rule period. I like to say, do you want your children to be loving beings? Scratch that for a second. Do you want other people to be loving to you and loving to your children? Or do you like the way the things are going today? As important as any reading, writing, and arithmetic class is teaching a foundation and a fundamental in the golden rule. Doing unto others what you would want done to yourself. And that entails teaching the kids about the truth, that the voices are real and how we deal with it. And Johnny running around, but the voices made me do it. The kids are going to be screaming, I threw the chalk because the voices wanted me to do it. Johnny, I know, but it got through you into the corner. But the voices, Johnny, in the corner. They're gonna scream and cry. It's a transition. Yes, they may have wanted you to, but we don't do whatever the voices want now, do we, Johnny? Okay, so we're going to, the golden rule period. That's the 4th. 5th is what I call putting money aside. Again, we vote each and every one of these in. Hopefully you want your children to be loving beings and all the other children to be loving beings, So we vote that into the school system too. It's the package 5. The farming communities, where we start. See, people think they like meat. Oh, meat. Take a burger, boil it in a bag, eat it on a dry old bun. A dry old bun burger, that's what you like? Now go to like a Subway and get a vegetarian. Get all the lettuce, the spinach, the bell peppers, the pepperoncinis. You're putting tomato on it. You're putting all the different onion. If you like olives, I'm not big on olive, but if you like olives, you put them in there. Salt and pepper, vinegar and oil. Take a bite of that. And then the dry old bun burger. No mustard. Mustard is grown. No barbecue sauce, no onion, no cheese. Just a dry meat is not what people like. People like flavor. And now with there's a new burger out there that is a vegetarian, and I think it's called the Ultimate Burger. I apologize, I don't have it offhand. Flavor is what people like, and we can simulate the char and salt and the oiliness of meat. We can simulate that. We're going to be fine. But it's about farming communities. I just wanted to get that out of the way. where we grow our food. I'm not going to go, it take me about 45 minutes to really go over the farming communities, but similar to Doctors Without Borders are going to be there. We put together hospitals, schools, water, power, electric. The land is free. You work for 27 years building farms, working at the farming communities, and then you retire. You never pay for anything. Everything is free. We, the people, voted in, and we send money there. 3D printing, circuit board printing, component pick and place machines where we're actually making things. CAD design, and it's about stockpiling the components, the diodes, the resistors, the transistors, the IC chips as we transition out of the econ on me and you. Nothing on this planet costs a dime. Now, I'm not talking overnight, but this is hundreds of years as we transition out and actually become a planet. But we start today. I mean, it is absolutely amazing when you understand you can make an ecodome dirt cheap. I mean, it's literally like an igloo made out of sandbags. It is amazingly insulated. You want to build you would like to build another room, you take a pick to it, you chip it out, you dig it out, and you add another bubble. It's amazing. These things are absolutely amazing. Electricity, it's no longer a trick for the elect. I can show you how to suck the water right out of the atmosphere on site. Civilizations are based on water. It's a brave new world when you can start talking about the voice in your head. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World about the multiple levels of beings that exist, and how we're conditioned from birth at the hatchery, they call it. Not going to go into all this, but we're worked on through our birth and up, through our birthday and up. It's now time to take it back and desire better for your children. You might be able to afford your children, but are your children going to be able to afford their children or their existence? It's getting bad to where the difference between the 1% and the bottom half, it's getting to be the bottom 65%. So it's a change we have to make as beings to decide that we're not going to get over on each other and be in this cult of capitalism. It's not communism. It's not capitalism. It's community and democracy. Remember that word, mock, raw. C, remove mocking God's vision for us. Make loving decisions with our vote. Taking care of the kids. Some people say they love their kids so much they would die for them. How about living for the kids? This is what this is about. Taking care of each other and the kids. No more should we be trying to get over on each other. We transition. Part of the econ on me and you's job is keeping roofs over the head and bellies fed right now. You don't burn the bridge down as you're on it. We transition out of it. And this is how we do it. We do the package 5 vote. Peace, love to everybody. 2021 is here. Have a great new year. Love each other.